So, Jeremy, I take it you still live in the UK then?
Correct. Yeah, yeah. I'm an actor. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I do. So over there, I'm Jeremy Clyde, the actor, and then I come over here and I become Anne Jeremy.
Jeremy, when you're back home in the UK, are you doing more plays these days or British television?
Well, mainly television now,
Mm-hmm.
because particularly this year, because I can't do plays this year because I'm working with this bloke over here.
Gotcha.
So it kind of gets in the way of theatre.
Chad, when you're not being Chad and Jeremy, what are your other vocational interests that you're still involved
Well,
in?
I floundered about the biz for a long time. I was music director for the Smothers Brothers, and then they got thrown off the air, and me with them. And then I was a staff producer at A&M for a while. That's a long story. But I finally ended up in Sun Valley because I'd been doing some music for a TV series that the actor turned director, David Hemmings, was directing. And he abruptly quit, sold his mansion in L.A. and went up to Sun Valley, and he called me up and said, come up and let's write a musical this summer. So I went up that summer. I forget when it was, 20 years ago probably, and I've been there ever since. And I've been a music teacher because he got divorced and left the country. But it was one of those fickle finger of fate things, you know. If Hemmings hadn't called me up and said, do that, I wouldn't be there. And I'm glad I did. It was good for the kids. It's a nice place to raise children. And so I've been teaching music up there. I mean, I just go to people's houses and teach whatever they want to learn. I taught all three of Bruce Willis's kids, actually.
Cool.
I don't know if it stuck. Rumo's a heck of a singer, I got to say.
So you had your mainstream success in the mid-'60s, and then when did you bust up the act the first time, and what led to that?
It was the end of the 60s. I mean, this is Jeremy speaking, as you may gather. I wanted to get back to acting, always did, always had, because that's how it had started out. I mean, this whole pop music thing had been a sort of, really a surprise detour. And so there was that. Chad, we would been living in California. Chad was starting a family over there. I was homesick. I wanted to get back to my family in England.
It was sort of inevitable, really. I mean, I remember Jeremy saying, "Look, I want to really act. I don't want to do guest shots on My Three Sons. I don't playing myself." He was rather good in that, actually. But again,
thank you.
I mean, you did have to actually act, but it wasn't much of a stretch.
But I sort of went back and got lucky and appeared in the West End, then went to Broadway, then joined Sir Laurence Olivier to you. Company, so I mean,
Right.
it was a slightly different world I was aiming for.
But I think we've both kind of looked back with a mixture of feelings about it because, we could have played it differently. I mean, I just said, well, fine, I want to be an arranger, I want to score movies, I want to do all this. But then we both, over the years, I mean, he was a songwriter. I mean, you can't not be. I mean, you can't just turn that off, even if you are an actor.
No.
And so you kind of found out the hard way that, I mean, I could harmonize with anybody, but it wouldn't sound like this. And so it's just one of those special things that we're blessed with. And I feel very fortunate that we can come back later in life and do it again. I mean, that's
great.
cool. I mean,
we're having more fun now than we ever had in the old days.
well, yeah, because when you're a kid, you have no idea what's going on, really, do you, really?
No.
I mean, they're shoving you from pillar to post and putting you on a bus and saying, see you in 6 weeks.
Yes.
So
the other thing is that actually, just let it be said, we are great friends. We do like each other. We giggle away like mad, and
I mean, I think he's improved with age, frankly. I do. He's a lot more fun now than he used to be.